I'm going to kind of give you some time to get back with us. Does anybody have any questions about all of the information we overloaded you with this morning while we're waiting on everyone to kind of jump back in?
I do, but I have a lot of them, so I'll probably, because I'm just, especially first year, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to structure this and what direction to go. And it's been pretty hectic trying to get all that stuff put together. So I'll probably get an email for that, and maybe over the course of the next few weeks, hopefully with some of your recommendations, figure out kind of where to go for the pathways.
Perfect.
What curriculum would work best.
We want you to know that we will, hopefully, as long as COVID stays away, we can get back in your classrooms, and we plan to make a visit with each one of you, whether it be in person or on Zoom. So that way, and we try to get those done early in the school year, so that as you get started and you have questions, go ahead and write your questions down. I mean, always call us or email us if it's something that's urgent. But, you know, when we're there, we want to be able to answer those questions for you. And no, you're not alone. We have, almost all of us have been through this, and it is absolutely overwhelming sometimes, just all the information that you're taking in. And some of it you're going to forget, but you know what, when you're at Oklahoma Summit and you're going through some of those classes or those sessions, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I do remember hearing that. So it's just like we do with our students, repetition is the best thing. And you may hear something today and not remember it until you get back to Summit, and it may stick with you at Summit. So don't stress about all the stuff that you're learning today. We are here for you, and we're here to help you with all of the things starting out school. So does anybody have any questions that we can answer right now? Otherwise, I'm going to hand it over. Okay. No questions. So Paxton, here comes the fun, guys. Get ready.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. And I'll just preface this with giving me 2 hours. I don't know what they were thinking. That's a long time to talk. I don't think that we'll probably fill that all up with just conversation, so don't worry about that, but it's going to allow us to really take some time to get to know BPA and DECA. I can answer your questions that are just burning in your minds right now so that you can move forward. And then we'll also kind of explain what the next steps are, where you can get some more information, when we can talk some more, and how I can help you. I know that sometimes CTSOs can be a little bit stressful when you're starting your program. What do I do with a CTSO? How am I going to manage this? What is the CTSO? All of that. So that's what I'm here to do, is to help you with that. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. I'm going to take a minute to make sure I have the chat open so that I can manage any questions that are coming in. Okay, and Christy, can you verify that you can see my whole presentation?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is the Oklahoma BPA and DECA overview. I'm Paxton Cavin. I'm the BPA State Advisor and the Oklahoma DECA State Association Advisor. I serve all of Oklahoma, so I'm not divided into regions. So I'm here to help all of you, whether you are BPA, DECA, Region 1, Region 4, it doesn't matter. I'm here for you. Okay, so first things first. Obviously, we're already here for this presentation, but I know that some of you are thinking, when can I get some more information? So at Oklahoma Summit, we always host an update session. So you'll see the BPA update session there in red. I believe that is at 8 o'clock, but you'll need to check your agendas for that. That'll be at Francis Tuttle. This is when all of the BPA advisors, veteran and new, will get together, and I will talk to them about what we're doing for the year, what's changed, what's the same, what's important. We'll launch a lot of new initiatives. I'll tell you about the FLC theme and things that we have planning for the year. Same with DECA. And this year, if you are a new marketing advisor, we have some major things coming into that DECA update session. So I really encourage you to attend that. And then I am also, this is new this year, offering a virtual follow-up for all of our teachers to attend, but it is going to be geared towards new teachers. We tried this last year and it's one of those things that stuck through COVID. So on September 1st, BPA advisors can join me to learn how to BPA all day, August through May at 3 p.m. That is virtual. And you have a save the date card with the Zoom ID and password there. I'll also be sending out links through our Monday Madness that you learned about earlier. And on September 2nd, our DECA advisors can make their 2021-2022 school year DECA amazing. So there's a typo there. That will be at 3 p.m. and we'll make sure that you have all the tools you need to make sure that you're starting the year off by September. You'll probably have your classes a little bit organized out, know who's staying, who's already transferred out, things like that. So you can really start rolling with your classroom planning then. And if you have questions, I can see the chat, so feel free to pop them in as you have them. Okay, so how do I figure out what to do? First, you're attending INTIA. You're here, absorb everything. Know that I know that it's also a lot of information. So we're trying something new this year. My presentation is going to be to all of you. We're not breaking marketing and BPA up separately. So it's an overview for everyone. That way you're not getting a lot of specific information and then it's just complete information overload. So I'll repeat a lot of things that I say here at Summit and then again in September and mix it up with some new information too. So then make sure you come to Oklahoma Summit and the meeting in September. And then of course, email and our websites, check and read your emails from me. You'll typically see that I'm emailing you frequently when conferences are coming up. Those are all really important. I usually don't email you all separately from Monday Madness unless it is something that is really crucial to your organization. And then of course our Oklahoma BPA and DECA websites are where we store all of our information for the organizations. Okay, and just a friendly reminder, I'm here for you. That's my job, is to help you. I love helping all of you figure out how to make your chapters thrive in their own unique ways. I know that every chapter is different and every chapter faces different struggles and has different ways that they can thrive. So just let me know how I can help you. I want to assist you all. My email is there. My phone number is there too. I have a usually less than 24 hours response rate to your questions. So just feel free to pop those in whenever you need them. Okay, so we're going to start, and whether you're marketing or BPA, marketing or BITE, you're going to get to hear about BPA and DECA both. I think it's good to know that you're not the only CTSO one in this office or in the agency. There are 7 in the agency, so we all have the same goal in mind, and that is the students, and we want to make sure that we're changing their lives for the better. So first, let's get to know BPA. Okay, and so that video has been the most requested item for us to provide to our new teachers and our veteran teachers even. And we've made one for DECA as well. We'll see it in a little bit later. And that is something that you can easily show to your students, that we can pop on social media, that we can put on our websites. Really simple. That's not necessarily talking about a specific event or a year or anything like that. So when we could not find what we wanted out there, we created our own. So that's what we've given you this year. This is going to be available for you to download on our website. It will also be available to view on our social media pages and our website. So you'll and YouTube. So you'll have multiple ways of showing this to your students, getting it out to anyone that you're wanting to show it to, parents, administrators, anything like that. You're actually the first to see it. We'll be showing it and releasing it after Oklahoma Summit. Okay, so Oklahoma BPA. The mission of Business Professionals of America is to develop and empower student leaders to discover their passion and change the world by creating unmatched opportunities in learning, professional growth, and service. BPA's tagline, that was recently changed about 2.5 years ago, is giving purpose to potential. Seen there is our state officer team this year. It was so refreshing to not have to piece together photos of them that they sent in. We were able to take a group photo, and after a year of Photoshop and Zoom meetings, it was just such a blessing to get together with them. Okay, so Oklahoma BPA this past year, we were impacted by COVID-19 as everyone else was, but we ended the year with 5,060 members, 331 chapters, and we were the second largest state in the BPA nation. Oklahoma BPA serves 3 different divisions: post-secondary, which is after 12th grade, that's in our technology centers; secondary, 9th through 12th grade in our high schools and our technology centers; and then mid-level, which is 6th through 8th, 7th through 8th grade, depending on where you're teaching. That's in our middle schools, junior highs, and some high schools, depending on where they are. You can be an advisor to a combination of all 3 or 2, or however your school is set up. Usually it's 2. I don't think we have anyone that is mid-level and post-secondary, but you can be an advisor to any division that you're needed to be an advisor in. And you can just make sure that you're breaking them up with what your students are doing. So within these divisions, they all are offered most of the same opportunities. Mid-level has a few less competitions than the rest of the divisions. However, they only compete within their division. So it's really important that you plug them into the right level so that they're getting the opportunities and the chance to succeed. So if you have questions on that, I know we have some people who have questions because they have 9th graders in their middle school. They cannot be in mid-level, but you also don't want to put your 7th graders in a secondary chapter. So if you have questions on that because you're in a unique situation, let me know and we can work that out. Okay, so a quick sidebar: CTOs can change lives. I think that we all probably know that. If you are new to the CTSO world, you probably have something in your life that is similar to one that can change lives. So with that, I'm going to tell my CTSO story very briefly. I was in BPA when the logo looked like this, and I was blessed with a really awesome advisor. She offered all the opportunities to our membership. We had chapter and local officers meetings monthly. We attended all the conferences. We hosted BPA week and even got a proclamation signed by our city council. She helped us earn community service hours for our projects. We hosted community service things through our chapter. We raised money for the state organization. She helped us with scholarships. BPA was a part of her class. It was truly co-curricular. So BPA became my main priority in high school. I ran for an office there, and then I eventually ran for state office. And the rest is a little bit history, but I met Carrie and the BMITE team when I ran for state office. I actually met my current husband through BPA, and then later came back to take this job. So my story isn't too different than a lot of other students, but because I had an advisor who made BPA a priority, who made the CTSO a priority in my life was completely changed. Nothing that I'm doing today would be the same if I hadn't joined BPA and I hadn't had an advisor who was truly there for the students. So I encourage you all to be the advisor. that allows the CTSO to change your students' lives. Okay, with that, we're going to talk about Oklahoma DECA briefly. So this is for our marketing advisors. Oklahoma DECA is one of the 7 CTSOs, and this year we added Collegiate DECA's first state executive council. So Collegiate DECA has been alive in Oklahoma for a while, and Oklahoma DECA has been around since 1948. We were one of the first founding states to charter with the national organization. However, we want to grow our Collegiate DECA in our technology centers, and we have a few college chapters as well. So we started our first state executive council. We have 3 awesome ladies who are on that. And we hope that by giving more leadership opportunities to the students that they can thrive. Okay, so with that, here's the video that we made for DECA to take back to their students in schools. Okay, Oklahoma DECA's mission is to prepare emerging leaders and entrepreneurs in marketing, finance, hospitality, and management in high school and colleges around the globe. This year's membership theme is Maximize Your Momentum, so you'll be seeing that in your DECA packets and things like that that you'll be receiving from both the state and national organizations. Oklahoma DECA. We are the smallest of the Oklahoma CTSOs. However, we are mighty, and the DECA advisor family is one of the most passionate groups that I have ever worked with. So I know that you'll look forward to meeting them at our summit update session. We have 1,300 members. This past year, we were also affected by COVID-19 in DECA. We have 36 chapters, hoping to finalize adding some of our new chapters this next year. And we are the 31st largest state in DECA. So like I said, we're small, but we're mighty, and we have some big plans for the year. Oklahoma DECA serves 2 different divisions, the high school, which is 9th through 12th grade, and then collegiate, which is after 12th grade. And like I said, that can be in technology centers, and we also have some college campuses as well. Okay, so just a quick review. BPA advisors, so this is our BITE teachers. Please tell me, what does BPA stand for? Drop it in the chat. Okay, and Morgan, I see your question in the chat. It's about to get buried by all these answers, so if you'll email that to me, that would be great. Okay, and then what divisions are available in Oklahoma? And you are correct, Oklahoma, or BPA stands for Business Professionals of America. What divisions are available in Oklahoma for BPA? Awesome, Mandy's the first one in with middle level, secondary, and post-secondary. Awesome job. Okay, and then name 2 career clusters that you think the BPA touches. So we've briefly mentioned it was a little bit in the video. It was on your packets that you received handouts for. So 2 career clusters that BPA touches. IT, awesome. Marketing and business admin, that is correct. BMA, yes, IT and business. Yes. One that I'm not seeing that is a little bit newer is the health administration. So that is new. And when we get into competition and things like that, then you'll be able to see what BPA can offer for those students in those areas. We also do digital media and design. Okay, awesome. Perfect. You guys were listening. Okay, DECA, it is your turn. So what does DECA stand for, marketing teachers? Nothing. Awesome. Very good. Bonus points if you can put what it used to stand for in the chat. But while you're doing that, what divisions are available in Oklahoma for DECA? Yes, secondary, post-secondary. Yes, Distributive Education Clubs of America. Awesome job, Cheryl. That's where you were a national officer. Very cool. Okay. So the only difference is DECA does call them high school and collegiate. So just look for that when you're looking at their marketing materials. BPA does stick to the mid-level, secondary, and post-secondary. So, okay. Name 2 career clusters that DECA touches. Marketing and finance. Awesome. Yes. Marketing, digital marketing. Marketing and finance. Is there a DECA chapter in Clinton? I don't believe so, Steve, but we would love to start one there.
There used to be one there, and they closed it, and they've actually been talking it over the past couple of years about reinstating it, but at this point have not done that.
Thanks, Carrie. We are all for adding chapters, so bring them our way. Okay, awesome job, guys. Hospitality is what we're seeing now, other than finance and marketing, so very good. Okay, let's move on. Okay, don't forget, BPA and DECA are co-curricular. I know you've heard this. You heard it from Dr. Mack. You heard it from Carrie. You're now hearing it from me. We are really going to be pushing this year because nothing's changed. We just really want to get it out there that BPA and DECA are co-curricular. So how can you implement that? Everyone in your classes can be considered a local member. We have some advisors who do charge like a lab fee, and their schools allow that. And so they actually charge a membership fee, and that's included. But you don't have to charge anything for your students to be considered a local member. You just need to call them a local member. So once they're in your class, it is their DECA class, it is their BPA class. They're a member. And then if they want to advance, if you see some potential for them to compete or do things like that, or they want to do scholarships or community service, and they want to join state and national, then move them up to those levels. But you can have different levels of membership. I'm seeing a message from Kai Mishi. If you are needing, let's talk about this now. If you're needing a chapter set up or information about restarting your chapter, send me an email. I know I sent a couple of people the links yesterday. Send me an email, and then tomorrow I will be working on, while you guys are in all your sessions, moving all of your information over to the chapters that you're in so that you can start logging in and doing what you need to do there. Okay, perfect. Everyone in your classes can participate in local activities, and everyone in your classes can learn about the organization. So those are some simple free ways that you can incorporate everyone in your classes into your organizations. So one way that's coming through the pipeline is that we are starting a curriculum integration committee and initiative. We hope to have all of that released in a really big release OK Summit 2022. However, as it's getting finished this year and we're connecting your specific curriculum with ways that you can incorporate DECA and BPA, we will be releasing that. It will be free on our BPA and DECA websites, easy for you to access, no login required. You can just go and grab what you need. We'll be starting with the most used courses first. So things like Fund of Tech, marketing fundamentals, things like that. So that is coming down the pipeline. You'll be seeing that throughout the year, hearing about our curriculum integration initiative, and then we'll do a really big release at Oklahoma Summit next year. So don't forget, they're co-curricular. I'm seeing a question in the chat from Steve. Do we design a club t-shirt, or do you all provide a standard design? Steve, I believe you're BPA. BPA, we do not provide a design. If you needed one, I would be happy to work with you on those. That is something that I love helping with, is helping you all with your marketing and design things. However, if you do go to the BPA National BPA website, which is bpa.org, and go to the BPA Mall. They have some options that are already pre-built out for chapter t-shirts. I believe it's through Bigfoot. Is Mark on the call? I'm not seeing Mark, but he would know the name. I think it's called Bigfoot is what the company that, or Big Feet or something like that. And it's on the BPA website, bpa.org, and go to the BPA Mall. Okay, so dues. So this is for past your local level where everyone's a member, and you can choose what you charge or if you don't charge anything. So if you go to the state and into the international level for DECA, the dues equal out to $20. You have to pay those together. You can't just choose to be a state member and not a DECA Inc. member. So it's $20, but here's the breakdown. And you'll register your members online. Once I get you all moved into your new chapters, you'll get an email on how to log in and the websites and things like that. Your membership dues are sent directly to DECA Inc. And we'll talk a little bit about how to pay for those and ways you can pay for those in just a few minutes. Okay, same with BPA. It all equals out to $20 with the exception of mid-level, which will equal out to $16 total. Okay, and those are sent to National BPA. Okay, so what do the dues go towards? Students must be a paid member to attend our state and national level competitions. So we typically open up our FLC or Fall Leadership Conference to anyone who wants to attend. You don't have to be a member. We want you to use it as a recruiting event if you need to. So we don't require membership there, but you will have to have your members in by state and nationals so that you can compete and attend those conferences. You will not be able to register students for those conferences if they are not paid members. So I would recommend at the very latest, if you are one of those people that really needs like the very last date that you can do something, I would have your dues entered and your members put into the system before you leave for winter break in December. If you can do it before because there's so many opportunities that the students can have before then if they're members that you don't want them to miss out on. But if it has to be completely last minute, you can do it in December. And you can add them as you get them. You don't have to add everyone at the same time. Okay, so dues go towards membership initiatives, things we do at the state level, member engagement opportunities, chapter visits, conferences. Something that both organizations do get in Oklahoma is as soon as you submit them as a member, they get access to free online practice tests that are on the same system that we use for state competition. They are past tests that we have had. So if they're really interested in getting ready for competition, that is a great way for them to do that. They can take as many tests as they want. They can retake them if they need to. And that's something that's included in their membership fees. Okay, so I told you we'd talk about how you can pay for some of these dues and things like that. So a lot of times dues will come out of the chapter activity accounts, but we do have this affiliation model, and this applies to funded CT programs only. It does not apply to technology centers, and it does not apply to unfunded programs, half-funded programs. So only fully funded by or marketing programs can do this, and you can use $400 of your funding to go towards 20 student members. You are not included in that as the advisor. It can go towards 20 student members. There is one big difference that you can, and like you then using your chapter money or things like that, you have to pay the full 20. You can't say I have 5 members and I just want to pay that $100. You have to pay for the full 20. So it's 0 or nothing. So you can pay that $400 out of your program funding and then add all those 20 members. Okay, so we are going to watch a quick video, and this is our BPA website. We'll go over it in a second. Okay, so if you're, and it's the same on the DECA one, high school affiliation. And on here, we have an affiliation guide that opens up into a PDF that explains everything. It talks about how to go about doing the affiliation and things like that. But we're actually going to watch this video if it works properly. because it explains the affiliation model in a really simple way. DECA, yours is the exact same. It just has DECA instead of BPA. Okay, let me know if you can't hear it in the chat or anything like that.
Hello, BPA rock stars. Let's learn more about the membership affiliation model for Oklahoma BPA. Note that this affiliation program applies to Oklahoma Career Tech, mid-level, and high school funded programs only. If your school receives program incentive funds from Oklahoma Career Tech, you will automatically receive an invoice in the amount of $400 from National BPA. You can then use your program incentive funds that your program receives to pay this invoice. How do I know if my program is funded? Check with your local administration or contact the BMITE office at 405-743-5119 or bmite@careertech.ok.gov. The affiliation fee covers your first 20 members, which may include local chapter advisors. Once you surpass 20 members, each additional member will cost $20 each and must be paid for using an activity account or other method. Program incentive funds cannot be used for additional members. In summary, receive $400 invoice from National BPA. Request PO from your school in the amount of $400. Remember to use program incentive funds if applicable. For more than 20 members, you must request an additional PO from your school using activity funds or other account. Mail a copy of the invoice and the check to National BPA at BPA National Center, P.O. Box 729, Westerville, Ohio, 43086. Register your members on the National BPA website, registermychapter.com/BPA-MEM. It is important to know that if you are a technology center or if your program is unfunded, you will simply pay membership dues based on the total number of members you have. Oklahoma BPA dues are $20 per member. Also, please strive to fill all 20 membership slots provided with this affiliation fee. There is no discount provided if, for example, you only register 12 members. To learn more about this affiliation program, please visit tinyurl.com/YAPAG75A and download the complete BPA Chapter Affiliation Guide.
Okay, so, and you don't need to visit that tiny URL. We have it linked right here. So there is a difference in the website too. Just this BPA moved and their new mailing address is right here. DECA, your page is built the exact same. So it will talk to you a little bit about the affiliation fee. It'll have an affiliation guide that you can download, has a video for you. And then it will also tell you who to mail your money to and where you can register. And that is a clickable link. Okay, like I said, we'll get back to the websites and we'll go through this. Okay, questions about affiliation and dues. I know that when we talk about money and student funds and chapter activity accounts and all that, it can get a little bit confusing. Every school does their finances a little bit different. So are there questions about any of that right now? Okay, we'll move on. If you do have questions, feel free to email me or put them in. Oh, so unfunded must pay the $400. So Tina, if you're unfunded, there are a couple ways that you can pay for your student dues. So some schools have the students pay them completely, and they bring the money to your chapter. Some schools will allow their chapter activity funds that are funded through your school and things like that to pay for them. You'll just need to check with what you want to do for your program and what your school will allow. When do you get the invoice? You get the invoice when you submit the members on the online registration system. So you'll get login credentials to that when I transfer you all into those tomorrow morning. Okay, any other questions? Okay. And as it gets, more real and it's happening and things like that, because school has started and you're trying to add members and deal with your finance person and things like that, just let me know and I'm happy to help walk you through all that. Yes, you can enter the students and pay once you have that PO and all of that in the check from your finance. So the CTSO national offices, they're used to working with schools. That's who they work with. So they're used to POs and dealing with finance offices and some of the hurdles that you have to jump through. They understand that. We understand that at a state level too. So just communicate with us on what you need and what's going on so that we can walk you through the best process for your school. Okay, so let's go over some conferences. BPA hosts like 3.5 conferences a year. We have our Fall Leadership Conference, which will be held on October 18th. Don't worry, you don't have to write these dates down. They're in your important dates, and then also on our websites. Our Mid-Level Competition Day is something that we started a few years ago, and it is connected to State Leadership Conference. However, it's a day where just our mid-level students get to come to the state agency here in Stillwater, and they get to compete just with them. There's not big crowds here. I think the last time that we did it in person, there were about 70 mid-level students here. We have donuts in the morning. We order pizza for lunch. It's really casual. We have an open testing center so that they don't have a scheduled testing time. They can just go when they're ready. If someone forgets a cord for their laptop, it's easy to reschedule them in. The pressure of the day is just so low. It's really casual. We want to get those mid-level students comfortable with BPA and loving BPA so that then they want to join when they're in high school and later post-secondary if they go that route. So that feeds into our State Leadership Conference, and those mid-level students are invited to attend State Leadership Conference too at the same rate they paid for mid-level competition day, so they don't have to double pay. State Leadership Conference is hosted in Tulsa. We have competition there. We'll have some leadership activities and then a big awards session. And that feeds into the National Leadership Conference. It'll be hosted in Dallas this year. The Dallas NLC year is usually a big year for Oklahoma because we don't have to worry about flights and the cost of flying. So you will be seeing a lot of Oklahoma schools and attendees at this year's National Leadership Conference simply because it's a little more cost effective than some of the other ones. So that'll be about 4 days of competition and leadership and sessions. It is a wonderful time, and I know that Texas is going to be a great host this year. Okay, Oklahoma DECA conferences. We host 3. We host Fall Leadership Conference in conjunction with Oklahoma BPA, so that's on October 18th in Norman. We have our Career Development Conference, which is the state level competition conference, and that's hosted in Midwest City. So we'll compete, we have some leadership things, and then a grand award session there. That feeds into the International Career Development Conference, where students from around the globe will compete in Atlanta this year for some DECA glass. So, and that kind of feeds into, we're launching a major competitive events initiative and training for Oklahoma DECA this year. And we hope to see some people on the stage at ICDC 2022. Okay, so let's talk about program of work. Can anyone put in the chat what they think a program of work is? A plan for your chapter. Yes, that's an awesome way to put it. Plan and goals for the year. Yes. Okay, so they're exactly right. So it's an action plan for the year. It can be categorized or sorted by month. So think of it as kind of like your chapter's calendar, but you're also combining it with goals and things that you all really want to accomplish. And yes, how you're going to get there. The important part is to include the plan. So it's not just your calendar of events, but it's also your plan to tackle that calendar of events. Should be completed early. We usually encourage it to be completed prior to or around the time of FLC. So, if maybe your officers need to attend FLC and get that leadership experience so they can finalize it after because they get more fresh ideas, or you can have it finished by mid-September, whatever works best for your school. You don't have to turn it in anywhere, but we do require you to have it for your 5-year evaluations. So make sure you're keeping track of those. And it keeps you and your officers focused on the important goals that you want to accomplish during the year. You can even assign one of your local officers to manage your program of work. They can keep you all on task. I know that you all have enough to keep track of. So assign someone to be the point person for that. Okay, so some ideas: elect officers. Then your officers can develop the program of work, plan some recruiting activities, Be specific. So don't just put recruiting activity maybe in September. Plan out what that might be. Is it, you know, a barbecue at school, or is it a movie night or something like that? Record minutes from your first meeting, record minutes from all your meetings, but it's just some tips to get you started. Start preparing for Fall Leadership Conference, could go on there. We are going to break up into just randomized groups. I'm not sorting you by marketing or tech center, K-12 or anything like that. So it's just gonna be completely random groups so that you can get in and just brainstorm on what you would like to do with your chapter this year. Obviously nothing's official. You're not here with your officers discussing your chapter goals or anything like that. Let this be an idea session. Bounce ideas off of the other advisors who are in your group. Everyone here is going to be managing a CTSO in the fall. So take their ideas, give your own ideas, that kind of thing, so that when you go to plan your program of work, you already have some ideas on what you want to put on paper. Okay, think big and think co-curricular. Feel free to use the calendars located at the bottom of the OKBPA and OKDECA website. So I'll show you where those are. So if you go to our Oklahoma BPA and Oklahoma DECA websites, you scroll down to the bottom of them in the footer, there are interactive calendars there, which will show you what Oklahoma BPA and DECA are planning for the year. They are organization specific, so just keep that in mind. So you can see right here, we have July, has New Teacher Academy on there, and has some reminders as well. So these might be helpful when you're planning your program of work, might also be helpful in your discussion. And then these are up year round and they are live updated. So if I make a change to them, it updates live for you. So I don't necessarily encourage printing them unless you're going to be checking back often. You will receive a printed calendar this year as well. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can get you into breakout rooms. And we will spend about 20 minutes in the breakout rooms chatting about kind of what you want to accomplish in the year. Maybe there might be someone in your breakout room that has some similar challenges at their school as you do. You're not going to get put with anybody in particular. So these are just completely random. This is an idea session. Let it be that. So you're not necessarily planning out your year right now. You are brainstorming, you're getting ideas from others, sharing things that maybe you've already done, or listening if you're brand new to things that others have done. Okay, so make sure everyone has a room to go to. Okay, I'm going to open the rooms and you can go, and we will come back about 1:03. Let's see, those of you who are still here, did you need an invitation to go to the breakout rooms? You might also scroll to the bottom of the page. You can see where there's a breakout room session and you can choose to go to the room you're assigned to. Okay, so I'm seeing Michelle. Do you need assistance? Mitch, did you need assistance? Okay, he's good. Shara, did you need assistance? Hey, Robert, were you already in a room? I know you've bounced back and forth a little. I don't want to put you in a different room if you already were in one. So, and Shira and Robert, if you aren't getting an invitation to the breakout room, what you can do is go to the bottom of the Zoom screen and hover over. There might be a more button or something that says breakout rooms, and you can join your breakout room there. Did you go into the room that it sent you to, Christy?
No, I didn't. I needed to message a teacher. And so I went in
Okay,
her
good.
group and then decided that I'm just going to email her instead of message her. So
Yeah.
do you need me to go in the group?
No, I just saw that you had gone in there, so I didn't know
Okay.
Ma'am,
if they were really talking or if it was like,
Hey,
oh, I
Chris,
mean, hopefully they, I mean, it's sharing ideas for things to do.
Yeah. Well, the one that I peeked in on, it was
Okay,
quite
good.
talking. So
I'm looking at room 10, Paxton. There's only 2 in there. I'm wondering,
Oh,
did
did
they
some of them
benefit
leave?
from moving over to the one? Mark and I were in the same one, so there's only 3 people now.
Well, there were 5 and 10. What room were you guys in?
I
there's
think
6
we were
in
8. We were 8, yeah.
Okay.
room 10.
Why do I hate to move them if they're having a really great conversation though?
I don't know if they are or not. I don't know.
Do
Okay,
you
I'll
want
give
me-
them a second. I'll go
They
in.
might appreciate having more people in their group than 2.
Okay, I'll go in there and see. I found Morgan's question. I was gonna pull it real quick. Oh, well, hopefully I answered that. For BPA, I have some students that show their level as 13 or 14, but they're high school students still. Well, why would it add a tech center, Carrie?
What?
So Morgan Houston
Hey, I'm about
from
to let Shira in.
she's been assigned one room. Okay, I'm gonna go into 10 and see if they want to move. on that question from Morgan, he said that he has some students in his tech center who are listed as grades 13 and 14, but they're still in high school. So they would still, because they haven't graduated, they're still secondary, right? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
I
just
don't know.
13. Okay.
I don't know why they're listed as 13, 14.
Okay. Maybe if they took it concurrently, would it change? Do they do that at tech centers?
Say that again. What did you say?
So like if they went to the tech center while they were in high school.
They're still considered secondary.
Right. But would it change what they're labeled as? Is that what he's looking at maybe?
I mean, that's what all the high school students do at the tech centers. They're
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yes. Okay. Never mind. Hey, Tony, were you in a breakout room before you had to leave the meeting?
There's Robert too.
Okay. Okay, Tony, I sent you to a room where you can talk. We're talking about plans for the year. Hey, Robert, do you remember what room I put you in the last time? If not, I can send you to another random room. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Okay, Robert, I have both of your devices in room 1. So if you can go down to the menu bar, you should be able to go and check the breakout rooms, and you can enter them that way. I'm curious how much he's like actually got. He's been in and out so much. Hey, Shira, I'm showing you in room 8. Did you get kicked out?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So since it's already sent an invitation, I can't resend you there. Can you go down to the, oh, you're on your phone, huh? So, okay. So Shira, we're going to try something. Okay. I'm going to send you to room 1. Go ahead and accept that invitation, and then I'll send you back to room 8. But because it already has you listed in 8, it won't let me put you back in 8.
Okay, I have the thing that says join breakout room. Would that let me?
Yeah, that'll take you to.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like our Oklahoma City school teachers have so much more to deal with, not being able to be at summer conference because of their schedule.
Yeah, it's just a lot. Did you see that PC is hosting district trainings on top of Summit too?
Why did they do that?
And then their career tech person told them that they had to, that district took priority over career tech.
Wow, that's nice.
Which district is that?
Putnam City.
I know
Really?
Bean used to always schedule. We would end up missing a day or two, but
Or that's what Cheryl Edwards, the one that's here, said. She said that Denise told her that the districts were priority over Summit. She said that she'd already told Kathy, so I took a note of the prizes that wouldn't be at Summit, Christy. They were very adamant.
Thank you.
There's 2 of them. Kayla Petit, I think, too, isn't?
Mm-hmm.
Also, we haven't given away anything today, just so you know.
Do you want to do one when they get back?
We can. I had like, we're on slide 33 of my presentation.
Chatty Kathy.
I really thought it, well, no, I really thought it was going to go longer than that.
It's so fun to listen to you because like we'll have this talking speed and conversation. And the second you go into presentation mode, then you talk like this. And then my name is Paxton Cavin. You like put in fast forward. And if I could have held up a sign like my slow motion dance at my first year of new teacher.
Oh, was it fast today?
In the beginning, I didn't notice it in the end, but it was funny. I mean, you did great. You really did great. But I know you missed out on my slow motion dance for the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah. I actually can't even, don't even have the videos where I can see them. So even if you would have been doing one in your Zoom box, I wouldn't have seen it.
Everybody else would have seen it except that person that needed to.
It would have been hilarious.
Oh, don't make me laugh. My head hurts.
Okay, so I still have to go through the websites, which that can take as long as we want it to. And then like going through like what's left, like how I am helping them and all of that. But I mean, the websites will take a little bit, but just letting you know.
I did go in and check roll and everybody showed back up. There were 2 that were a little late, but I think one of them was in with Caleb Robertson. So, but then, I mean, he showed up on his own.
It's okay to finish early, and part of what Christy's going to talk to them about is they've got to still find time to finish up their projects. So, you know, she can encourage them to use that extra time to finish their projects.
And then, Christy, have you told them how you want them to deliver their projects? Did you ever give them that link? Okay, so let me give that to you now. Or if you want to write it down, I can drop it into the chat when you, because we created that file request. I emailed it out to you guys.
You probably did.
But no, I have it and I can copy it and send it out. I just wanted to let you know that I hadn't heard it.
No, we have not talked about that. So when they complete their video, they will drop their video into the link that you're giving them.
And it is Dropbox. And so we've heard from a few who have said that Dropbox is blocked by their school. So then the logical step would be to have someone else load it in.
Right.
Okay.
You probably need to give them time to ask any questions if they've got any questions about their project too.
Okay.
So then if you want to do a giveaway when they get back?
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be good.
Okay.
You want to just do this? You want to ask them questions or do the spinny wheel thing?
I have all these challenges built.
Oh, challenges.
Oh my goodness. I think we'll do a challenge through the 5 things fast in the chat.
That's cool.
And it's about career tech, so it's on point.
Awesome. That'll give them loot, CTSO loot. Is that right? Swag?
Yeah, that's fine.
And we're going to do the gift card at the end of the day with Kahoot.
Actually, I may do the you're on mute one. I don't know if I'm going to do a giveaway right when they get back because I want to go into websites and then finish early so I can brag about giving them extra time back.
Whatever, lady.
Oh,
There's junk food over by HR. Do y'all want me to go collect? Although y'all probably don't want my germs all over everything. So.
I think everything's prepackaged. I'm going to go ask Mark a question real quick before I bring them back.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back. We'll give everyone a few seconds. The breakout rooms are going to kick everyone out in about 20 seconds. Okay, so everyone should be back. We'll let everyone get connected to audio and all that. Okay, perfect. Okay, welcome back. Does anybody want to share some really great ideas or things that they learned that they thought were neat from their conversations? And you can just unmute and share. You don't have to type it into chat.
Well, one of our group members was talking about how it was so hard to get a chapter going. And I said, well, one, you can make it mandatory. I mean, you know, it's co-curricular, but it doesn't matter if it's, you know, what level. You can, I said, what we did at my tech school, and this was years ago, the boys didn't want to, the guys didn't want to do it because they're too cool to do it. And I'm like, okay, do you realize this is business professional competition? You're going to have the smart, nerdy young ladies that are going to be able to have a future for themselves. They're going to be there at state national competition. And so the same to the ladies about, you know, you're going to have future Bill Gates, you know, nerdy looking guy that's going to be making bank in a couple of years that's serious about his life at this competition. And they're all like, oh, you know what? It might be a good place to meet people. And so, I mean, it was a terrible way to sell it. But, you know, at least if they're in a tech school, they're focused on, you know, making their future better than what they're at right now. And so, you know, it kind of helped for the initial, yeah, I'll tick that membership box because, you know, we're going to have a little fun. Of course, then we went and, you know, just dominated nationals for a couple of years. Then they got bragging rights. So they started coming back to my program for a second year, even though we didn't really have a second year, just so they could go. And if they got second in nationals, they could compete to try to get first. So once they get in and get that competition going, a lot of times you can get a lot of retreads, even if your program doesn't initially have those, just so they can go back and compete. Because the sign-up time is right around the time of nationals. You know, then you'll get, you know, I can't remember the fancy word for it, but, you know, get more return students, recidivism, you know. I'm on vacation. I'm not supposed to think about college words.
You're good. And I definitely agree. You have to have that fun hook for the students, no matter what it would be. And, you know, I think when you ask CTSO students kind of what one of their favorite things is, they may say competition or the leadership skills, but it's always followed up with and the opportunity to meet other people and the opportunity to network. And it always has that community factor to it. So, you know, whether they're there for competition or community service or, you know, just learning how to code or whatever they're there for, they all seem to also love that community aspect and getting to meet people. So yeah, draw them in with that. And then if you are looking for fundraising ideas, we have the chat is on fire with some fundraising ideas. So check that out if you're looking for some ideas there, or if you have some ideas to share. Does anyone else want to share from the conversation?
One question I had in my group that wasn't exactly answered was the fundraising. I mean, yeah, it's meant to teach them business practices, business skills, but where does that money end up going to?
So that is one of those things that will end up being determined by your school too. I mean, a lot of times schools, chapters will fundraise not only to teach those business techniques and things like that, but also because they need to fundraise to buy hotel rooms and plane tickets to go to nationals. So, you know, that a lot of times, for the most part, this depends on school districts, so check with all your finance offices, but it should go into like your chapter activity fund or your BPA money or something like that. So check and see how your school handles fundraisers. Check to see now if you need to get fundraisers approved before the school year. if your fundraisers have to go to the board for approval, things like that, because some schools won't let you have a spontaneous fundraiser in the middle of the year. So check with your schools on that. But yeah, most of the time, while they do teach business things, they're also just used to help the chapter function. Okay, any other questions or things that you'd like to share? Again, we have lots of fundraising ideas and things like that in the chat. So definitely check that out. You can save the chat too if you want to, so you have it later.
Paxton?
Yes.
This is Steve. One thing that we discussed in our little group, besides fundraising and things like that, was how this is also new to all of us. And so if there's other groups out there, and how some of us are feeling a little overwhelmed by, and that you all are there to help. But I don't think, just to let the whole entire group know, don't feel alone. Almost our entire group felt. You might raise your hand if you feel like there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, so
my hand too.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot for all of us. And so, and it's new. And so a lot of us are feeling a little bit lost, and I think we'll find some direction. Some have a teacher there that can help them. Some have a retiring teacher that can help, but some of us have nobody, and nobody at the school that has any idea, so we're really going to rely on our crew. Every day we've been looking at the last couple of days, and we appreciate all the help you can give us and all the life refs you can throw out our way. Thank you.
Yes, of course. And that, when I say that I want to help you all chapter plan, that's just not something I have to put in my slides. That's something I truly want to do. I know that each chapter is completely unique. You may have been left with a thriving chapter and lots of plans for the year. You may have been left with nothing. You may be starting from scratch. You may have some tremendous challenges that you're facing at your school. I would love to have either an email conversation, a phone conversation, or an in-person visit if we can arrange it, where I can help you figure out what your chapter can do, what your community looks like, how they can support your chapter, and then how we can help your students just thrive through BPA or DECA. I know that sometimes competition may not be what your school can do, but you may thrive at community service. Or, I can help you guys get connected to scholarships or things like that. We can find some partners in your communities. Let me know how, if you do want that help. So if you are feeling overwhelmed and need those live drafts and things like that, let me know, and let's start that communication now before the school year gets started, and we can get that moving. Okay, any other questions before we dive into our websites?
Paxton?
Yes.
If you don't mind, there's a question in the chat that deals with the 412. 412 money are selling stuff made from their 3D printer in their class. So here's the agency's stance on doing that, using equipment that's in your program for fundraising efforts. So there's a fine line between doing projects for your program and your program funds paying for that, and in creating things that then you're going to turn around and sell. So you need to be really careful about that. So obviously we know we want you to use your equipment to let the students learn how to do those skills, and the more they practice, the better they get. However, if you're using that then to make money, you need to use that money that you're making to help replenish your stock. You shouldn't be just making things to sell, if that makes sense. So you're making things for your school projects, and that's all covered. But when you start talking about fundraising, then that you need to be using those funds to help replenish anything that you used from the program supply, if that makes sense. So keeping good records is really important when you start talking about fundraising, and it really needs to be separated from your 412 funds. And usually that's in an activity account that your school works with you to do, but certainly using your equipment to create that as your students are learning. We understand that that's a good idea. It's just when you start talking about fundraising, it gets a little murky, and we're happy to visit with you one-on-one about some things, maybe the ideas that you have and how you can make that work.
Okay, thanks, Carrie, and great question. It's always a little tricky when it comes to funding. We want to make sure that you're spending it correctly and documenting everything correctly too. Okay, so we're going to get into the websites, and we'll preview both. We are going to start with BPA. I built both of them. They're both pretty much the same to make things easy on our staff when answering questions. So know that if you see something on BPA and you're wondering if it's on the DECA one and you're a marketing teacher, it is on the DECA one, and probably in the similar kind of menu situation. We'll preview both. We're going to start with BPA though. Okay, let me open up the chat real quick so I have that. Okay, so when you get to the BPA website, this is our home page. Our office phone number is right here, so you have it as soon as you need it, that kind of thing. All of our social medias are up there if you need them. Okay, so looking at this red bar, underneath home, we just have some kind of history about type things. About BPA, you can find out the mission statement, you can get our bylaws here, that sort of thing. Underneath people, you can meet our state executive council, which are our student leaders. We do have a national officer team member this year. Last year's Oklahoma Advisors of the Year. These would be great people to reach out to if you're looking for some assistance in your chapters. There's one for each division. We have our Oklahoma SEAC members. I know someone put in the chat earlier, when would SEAC be releasing the competitive events guidelines? So these are our 3 SEAC members, Classroom Educators Advisory Council, who go to nationals and help create some of the competitive events and things like that. So these are our 3 advisors from Oklahoma who help with that. Our National Board of Trustees members, which actually just updated, and then some of our sponsors and things like that. So that's what's under here. BPA through the years is like a photo album. So if you submit photos throughout the year, it'll end up there so students can look through that. You can use it as a marketing tool if you need to, and things. So it's just kind of a constant mix of student photos and things like that. And then a contact page if you need it. Okay, so conferences, all of these are under construction until Oklahoma Summit, when all of them will be released. But here is where you will find information about how to register, who's speaking at Fall Leadership Conference, the schedule, the agenda. You'll see to go under conferences, go to whichever one we're doing at the time. And all of the information I have for those conferences will be on these pages. Again, they are under construction until Oklahoma Summit, when we're releasing everything. Okay, SEC, that stands for State Executive Council. So that is our student leaders who campaign and get elected by members from around the state. So it's a really big honor. You can meet the team here, read their bios, things like that. If you would like a state officer to visit your school virtually or in person, you can request them here. Okay, so you have the options of virtual or in person if you have the platform, or if you want us to provide the platform. And then you can go in and choose who you want to go. You can choose any of them or all of them. You can say if you want me to attend, that kind of thing. And then you just get into the details of your event. Is it an officer installation? Is it a recruitment activity? Is it like an icebreaker where you want us, you know, in shorts and tennis shoes and having fun and things like that and really interacting with students? So let us know if you're interested in that. It is free. And if we have an officer who can go to that from how you request it, then we will send them there. They love to do that. They have some goals related to that this year. And they have BPA stories that they can share with your students. They can get your students fired up for BPA and for DECA on the DECA side, maybe sometimes more than adults can. Okay, later in the year, if they're interested in running for state office, that application is housed here. It is due on December 1st. And all of that is here in instructions. Okay, and then they have a resource page there. Okay, so members, membership information kind of talks about the dues breakdown that we've already talked about today, where to send the payments for dues and things like that. So that's all here on our website, so that, you know, if you have parents asking what the breakdown is, or school administrators, or you're wondering, it's all here. If you want to start a chapter, This is going to take you to the National BPA page about starting a chapter. If you scroll down to this step 2 right here, where it says complete a new chapter application, fill out a new chapter application, that is where if you don't have a chapter right now, then you can fill that out. And that's the link that I emailed those who asked for one yesterday. Okay, so again, that is under members and start a chapter. High school affiliation, that's where we were earlier with our affiliation model, video, the guide, all of that. And if you have questions on that, please let us know. It can be a little bit confusing, but it is so incredibly helpful for those chapters that can use it. We have a 10-day rule that has to deal with absences and things like that. That details all of that out. Service is going to take you to links for BPA's community service initiatives. So the torture board programs, you can go right here. It takes you to the National BPA website, so you can sign in, read about all of that, and get started there if you need it. Competition. Okay, so none of this is updated because it's not out, but this is where we will store all of our competitive events information. Once we have the resources from National BPA, we will post them here. But everything is here from last year. If you do want to get in and see what it looks like and that sort of thing, just know that there might be some changes that come in when they release the 2021-2022 competitive events guidelines, which are called the Workplace Skills Assessment Program, or WASP for short, or WSAP. You'll hear it a lot of different ways. When you are looking at that, something helpful is the Oklahoma Events at a Glance. So if you look at this, this is all the events that we will offer in Oklahoma for BPA. It is a fairly lengthy document, but when compared to the 350-page competitive events guidelines, this is really helpful. So let's take fundamental accounting, this 100 event right here. So the number right here tells you which area it's in. 100 levels are in finance. Okay, so we have the event name. The S right here stands for secondary. So that's the division that can compete in it. Okay, so you'll see like 190 down here has secondary and post-secondary. So that's what that is. Up here on the side is what describes each column. Okay, so division for this event, secondary. Number of chapter entries. So you could send 5 students to fundamental accounting at a state level. Okay, does it have an online testing component? Yes, there's 30 minutes allowed for that. Okay, a pre-submit component, do they have to turn something in ahead of the test or the competition? So this is blank, so it's a no. Okay, number advancing to SLC. So after the online testing component, let's say we had 100 people test from all over Oklahoma, the top 20 will advance to SLC. So that's what that 20 is right there. Okay, orientation prep, wrap up warm up time, that's 20 minutes. Okay, actual SLC presentation time, 60 minutes. Are there judges in this event? This is a it's a test and like a work. So it's not a presentation event, so there's no judges for it. We grade it. So no judges questions. May the event be repeated? No. So this means if they competed in it last year, they cannot compete in it this year. Are production standards used? No. The production standards are in that WASP guidelines, the really big document. Okay, may they use reference materials? Yes. Each event will, within the really big document, will have the guidelines for that. Can they use reference materials? What reference materials can they use? Can they have a calculator? Things like that. So this events at a glance is just kind of the snapshot of it, but there are some more in-depth guidelines for you to look at too. Okay, are the computer and printer provided by BPA? No on that one. Color printing isn't needed. They don't need to bring their own computer. And the number of SLC winners eligible for NLC, 5. So our top 5 people get to advance to nationals on that one. So that's how you read this document. It's broken down for each event, and we'll release a new one when it comes out. Mid-level is at the end right here in the 900 levels. These right here that say V01 and V02, these are virtual events, and they're not new due to COVID or anything like that. They've been around, and right now all of the divisions compete against each other. and they're hosted through National BPA. So we recognize them at states if they do place in the top 10. However, we don't do any of the competitions for these. So you go right to nationals. Okay. Questions about this document? I know once you look at it, it makes a lot more sense. But I will say it's one of the most helpful documents when you're planning your competitions and things like that in the spring. What is the U on finance math? Unlimited. So that is because that is an open event. So any of them that say open, that is an online test, and we allow you to send however many students you want. They can also take as many of the opens as they want. They're not limited. So where we've limited students to compete in only 2 competitions, they can compete in 2 competitions plus as many open tests as they want. Okay. Okay. Questions? At competition, is there a test? And it depends on the project. So some of them will have tests and a presentation. Some of them will just be a test. Some of them will be just a presentation. Some of them will be a pre-submitted component and then a presentation. So that's why really staying on top of which events you're doing and what their guidelines are, and using this to kind of help you will help keep that straight. So it's a lot to organize and things like that, especially if you have students doing a lot of different events. So use this document, look at the guidelines. There are lots of different combinations of what might be required. Okay, any other questions while we're on competition? When the WASIPs do come out, there is a secondary and post-secondary one for Oklahoma. That is for those divisions. And then mid-level does have its own. And then nationals will also have a national one that will be used for national competition. Oklahoma is unique that we do not host regional competitions. So all of our students go directly to state. So what you will find is that we ask for some things to be pre-submitted ahead of time so that we can narrow down to top 10 or top 20 if needed. If we have a lot of entries in some things like speech or presentation management and things like that. I'll go over competition a lot more during Oklahoma Summit and at that September meeting. We'll also host a boot camp for advisors in November where we help prepare you for State Leadership Conference. Okay, and the date of that one is November 17th. So, and right now it is being planned to be here at the agency. In person, probably. Everyone really liked virtual last year because they didn't have to take off of school. So we'll kind of see what's happening around that time. It's on your important dates as well. Okay, so we will help you out with competition however we can this year because we do want you all to succeed. Okay, the Oklahoma virtual chapter, that is for students who just don't have the option to be in a BPA chapter. Maybe their school doesn't have one. Maybe they were at a school that did have one, but now they've moved to a school that doesn't. So that is a chapter that's available to them. Mark Birch is our Oklahoma virtual chapter advisor. There's a little bit of a downside to that in that they don't typically fundraise and we don't have program funds for them. So, you know, they're paying for all of their things like that. So if you have a student who's moving and they're worried about how they're going to stay in BPA, there is an option for that. Okay, so information library. I will say that this is probably the most helpful section of the website for advisors, and that's the advisors quick link section. Okay, so it's broken down into state resources and national resources. So up here, this is the important dates that were included in your packet. You can download it here. We have our statements of assurance, the code of conduct that the students sign if they're participating in any events. We have a sample program of work that you can download. The state executive council application, when it's ready, will be here. You can go to the chapter visit form. So some of these things are linked in other places on the website, but this is one place where you can go and we try to make it a one-stop shop for you here. The link to the practice tests on CTU are here. You do have to have access. If you don't have access to this, let me know and we will get you access as a BPA advisor. You are welcome to have them. Okay. We'll link the events at a glance here, all the WASP guides, so that you have multiple places where you can find this information. There's another sample program of work from a school here. Let's see. Then we have our SLC results there from last year. So national resources, as soon as we're getting all of these from National BPA, we'll be updating them. That chapter handbook will be really helpful when it is released, but the 2020-2021 handbook is still there if you do want to look at it. Just know that some things may change, but it will still be really helpful to you. Okay. And then if you are looking for some additional presentations and things like that, I have just kept all of the presentations from past years here. Keep in mind that some things may have changed. However, these could be really helpful to you because a lot of things do stay the same. Okay. Advisor Bootcamp, that's where we will have the information I talked about for the November session. We have a download center here. So if you're looking for artwork, we have all the BPA logos here where you can download them. BPA letterhead is here. And this is all Oklahoma specific right here. If you need a chapter logo, let me know and I can get you the request for that. We have all the national artwork, our FLC artwork. We have a presentation package if you're needing that. So we just have it all right here so that it's easy for you to download. You don't have to log in. It's there. You can grab it. Your students can grab it for whatever projects you might be doing. Okay. The OK BPA headlines is our Oklahoma BPA blog. So our state officers will write things for it. We also will do spotlights. We have one here from a teacher from Canadian Valley. They'll post things for students. We'll, like I said, highlight chapters, things like that. So if your chapter is doing something really cool that you want us to showcase, send me some text and a photo and we'll get it on the blog and highlight them. You can share it and things like that. I'm more than happy to let you guys use the headlines as your resource. Okay. Let's see. So virtual resources. This is something that we started last year when we realized that to compete in the COVID year, we were going to have to provide more resources than ever before. So this is what this page is, and it's going to stick around. So this is something else that came out of COVID that we're keeping. We are currently updating all of this. The state officers are working on all of the resources to go on this page, but we have some virtual scavenger hunts that your students can use. We'll have our membership video that we link here. We have some activity ideas that can be done if you are virtual or in person. We have a poster you can download. So we'll have all of that here. And then again, just repeating with some of the resources that were on the advisor quick links, they're here as well. And then we also have all the fun virtual backgrounds if you need them. So this is mainly things for if you are virtual on Zoom, need to do something like that. But a lot of it could also be translated if needed into an in-person situation. Released this year, we have the Oklahoma BPA store, which I know some of you have won some prizes too. So if you go here, we do update it regularly. After Oklahoma Summit, there will be some more items on there too. The summer is kind of our building phase, so that's why I keep saying we're going to update things at Summit when we release them. So you can go here and purchase things. Your students can purchase things if they want, and then we get them out to you. Okay, so questions on the BPA website or anything that we may have covered for that, and then we'll move on to DECA. Okay, one thing I do want to point out is at the bottom on the footer, so it's on every page of the website, there is the calendar that is completely updated for the year. However, if we do have new things that pop up, they'll be put in there too, and you can find it there. And then I also have all of the FLC, SLC, and NLC dates here for the next 3 years. So we've locked in dates for all these conferences. I have locations for you, all of that. So if you're planning on sticking around, which we hope you are, then you can add these to your calendars. And we'll continually update those as well. Okay. We will move on to Oklahoma DECA's website. Like I said, I built both, and just to keep things easy for our staff and for myself, they are pretty similar. So we won't go through everything, just some things that might be a little bit different for DECA. Same kind of thing here. I'll show you our people page. But same concept as with BPA, we have our state executive council. We have our brand new collegiate state executive council here, our advisor of the year. We have our partners and things like that. We'll be adding our advisory board here soon. A photo album from DECA through the years. And if you like history, this is a fun one to go through, because if you remember, DECA started in Oklahoma in 1948. So we do have some fun photos even from back then. So that's really cool. Okay, conference tab again, we have FLC, CDC, and ICDC. They are also under construction until summit, but all of your information will be here when those conferences are getting closer. Resources, the advisor quick links is pretty much the same as BPA. It's broken up into state resources and then resources from DECA Inc. The chapter visit form, just like BPA's, you can request which officers you want to attend your school, what you'd like them to do, if it's virtual or in person, when it is, all of that information. We do ask that you fill these out for any visit, even if you know that you have a state officer at your school or at the neighboring school or something like that. This helps me know where the state officers are in their official capacities and things like that, so that we're remaining professional and everyone's safe and all of that. Okay, the DECA headlines is our blog. Same thing, marketing teachers, if you guys are doing something really cool at your school, send that in to me. I want to showcase it on the website. Okay, members, that's going to break down their dues information right here. And then you also have an affiliation underneath high school right here, the high school affiliation. So something that we did change for DECA this year was breaking it up into high school and collegiate on the website. So you'll find the virtual pages for DECA under whichever category they are. So if they're a high school student, they can find their virtual high school page under high school. Their state executive council is under the high school tab. Their application to run for the state executive council is there. And then the high school affiliation is there as well. So for the collegiate, we'll have the collegiate virtual page, their state executive council, and then if you'd like to run for office there. So I'm sure we'll be adding things to these since they're newer menu items and how we're organizing the website. But that way you're not seeing collegiate resources and getting confused if you're a high school. Okay, and then similar to BPA, we have the Oklahoma DECA online store. The state officers get to choose what items we have in the stores. So that's it's always fun to see what they choose to be available. Okay, questions about the website? Okay. Okay, so I know that there is just a ton of information and it's information overload. We've mentioned it before. CTSOs have a lot that accompany them. We're here to help. Attend the other trainings. So at updates, you'll get some more information. At those September meetings, I cannot stress enough, that's really when we're going to deep dive, because we'll have an hour long where everyone's broke out into BPA and into DECA, where, and I can stay late too, where we can chat about all the questions you've had. You all will be in your classrooms already, so you'll know kind of what you're dealing with maybe. So I'll have a little bit better knowledge to help you there, and you'll know what you're talking about. So let me help you with those. Please attend those September meetings, September 1st for BPA, September 2nd for DECA. Okay, don't forget to join those update sessions. Meet the veteran teachers at the update sessions. They can be of help to you too. Okay, and then something else that's stuck around from COVID. We're going to provide as many virtual options as necessary. So if we get past that September meeting and you guys still want some help and there's still a need, I am more than happy to schedule more trainings. They can be specific to certain schools, they can be specific to certain topics. whatever is needed, we can do that. So just know that. And then chapter planning, we've mentioned that if you're interested in some one-on-one chapter planning, send me an email, let me know. We'll start that conversation and make that happen for your chapter. Okay, and then our state officers are incredibly active on social media. So please follow us. We are on Instagram, the most probably, followed by Twitter and Facebook. So we post all of our information there. We'll have reminders for students throughout the year, initiatives that we're doing when it's DECA month and BPA week, we'll be doing those things. So you can find us at Oklahoma BPA and at Oklahoma DECA on all three of those platforms. We are housing all of the videos.
This is Jay. So it's going to be over that way by the food.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. I told you I would not talk for the full 2 hours. I am happy to answer questions if you have any. That may have started more questions than it answered. So let me know if you have questions.
Let's go on vacation for Thanksgiving. You say sure?
Sure. Okay, so are you ready for us to move on?
Yeah.
What else about?
There's a few people. Jonathan, I think that you're unmuted.
Yeah, he keeps going in and out.
Must be on his phone with like the tap.
Yeah.
That way he knows that we're not listening to his conversation.
Right.
Okay. Awesome. Any questions, whether they're in chat or throw out there in person, or you can just bombard my email. I don't care. So however I can help you, I'm happy to do so.
Is Jonathan going to take all of us on vacation Thanksgiving? I mean, good for Turkey and Hawaii.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so it's my turn to talk to you guys. We're going to do some review. We're going to wrap up a little bit early, it looks like today. The good thing is you will have a little bit of time to work on your projects if you want to meet together, but don't forget, it's kind of like what we give our students. You have some homework to wrap up before tomorrow. When you do complete your video, Paxton, will you drop that link in there so they can copy it, pretty please? And when you do complete your video, if you will put it in, send it to this link that she's going to send you. Now, I know, is this a Dropbox link? Yeah, Dropbox. Some of you had voiced concerns that you were not able to use Dropbox, but I'm hoping that there will be at least one person in your group that will be able to utilize Dropbox, and we can make it work that way.
And if your whole group is Dropbox blocked, feel free to send it to me, and then I can put it into the Dropbox via email. So I just know with the larger video files, we needed some sort of file sharing platform. So if you just can't get into Dropbox with anyone on your team, email me your video.
Thanks, Paxton. What else do we have? We're going to play. Is Mark around here? Is he with us right now? There he is. Mark, did you want to talk about the voucher, and we can drop the voucher sign up link in the chat to talk about, we're going to give vouchers away?
Yeah, so just to rehash, yesterday we talked about one of our partners, Precision Exams by UScience, has graciously donated 2 vouchers to our new teacher academy that will allow up to 30 students in a single class to take a certification for free. Basically, it's a $250 value. And we created this Google form because we want to make sure whoever wins that prize, 1, wants it, and 2, that they would be committed to using it. So if you missed that announcement yesterday, or you forgot to go and fill out the voucher link, please do so. If you're not interested, don't worry about having to fill it out. It's okay. But we're just trying to get all that together before we announce our winners tomorrow. So thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Okay, we are going to play a little bit of Kahoot. If you've never gotten to use Kahoot, you're in for a treat. I know my students used to love this game. Hopefully being able to use Quizlet one day and Kahoot this day, it will kind of give you some ideas of how to review with your students. So here we go. It's going to give you, you will need you can go to another screen, like open up another screen. Is it going to let us do this? Classic, player versus player. And you'll need to go to kahoot.it. And when you get to kahoot.it, it's going to request a PIN number. This will give you the game PIN. If you'll put that game PIN in, we will wait on you to join. There will be some of you, I realize, that will probably not be able to join, and that's understandable. When I would play this with my students, I would always end up with all variations of my name because it doesn't require them to put in their name. They would call me several different names. They were all fun. I never had to block those or turn them down or take them out of Kahoot, but I know that that is a possibility. So
something new to Kahoot, well, newish. You can turn on assigned names, so it will be like Happy Hippo or Strong Eagle or something like that. So if you are playing it with your students, you can avoid the inappropriate names by having it assign names to them.
Perfect. That's great. That is new since I started. But today's winner is going to win one of our gift cards. You will get to choose between the Starbucks gift card and the Apple gift card. So pretty good game. Looks like we have 33 joining us. I'm going to give you a few more minutes to join. Should we go ahead, ladies and gentlemen?
We'll give them a few more minutes just to make sure everybody gets in there. And they can do this on their phone, correct? If they wanted to do this on the phone?
Yes.
Watch their screen and use their phone?
Yes, you can do it on your phone. You can do it on your screen. So your students would have other options as well.
They're still getting in there, looks like.
5 participants, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of us are State Department folks. Are we waiting on anyone else?
I think there's 6 of us that are on right now. 6 of us.
Okay. So we're waiting for about 8 more. Uh-oh, somebody got booted again. Okay, I'm going to give you about another minute and then we're going to get started.
Christy, I'm going to put the pin in chat so that when you move forward, it's already
great.
Still in there.
Okay, are we ready? What do you think? Ready to hit stop? Oh, there's one more. Good job, Sienna. Okay, let's do this. Oh, another one joined. I hate going on without all of you. If you need me to wait on you, please put something in the chat or have your friend tell me. Okay, I'm going for it. New Teacher Academy Day 2. Here you go, get ready. The numbers used to transcript high school courses. What is that? OCAS codes. If you answered the gold option, you were correct. Here we go. Next question. Good job, Kayla P. What's the percentage of business and industry members required on the advisory committee?
Christy, would you read the color and the answer in there? Because if you're only using one screen, it's hard to bounce back and forth between Zoom and.
Sure, yeah. I'll do that next time. If you answered 50% in the green, you were correct. That would mean that I would need to bring one or two teachers, or not two teachers, two industry partners to our meeting if I was developing my advisory committee. Oh, Kim is in the lead. Okay, here we go. On-site K-12 monitoring visit for continuous improvement. What is it called? Red is 5-year evaluation. Gold is workplace environmental resource kickoff or work. Blue, classroom monitoring visit, or green, accreditation. Yes, it is a 5-year evaluation. Good job, you guys. That was the red. Oh, Dunlap is in the lead. Where do you find the BMITE syllabi, crosswalks, etc. in ctu.org? In red, developed courses, gold, training rooms, blue, BMITE teacher resources, or green, 5-year evaluations? Blue, the BMITE teacher resources. Good job, guys. That makes me so proud. Next, let's see who's, oh, Dunlap is holding the lead this time. Good job. The form used to map a career plan. Red, program of study. Gold, follow-up. Blue, 412 plan, or green, syllabus. Red, program of study. Okay. Oh, Amanda just pushed Dunlap out of the lead. Good job, Amanda. When is the next CTSO training for new advisors? Red, December 25th. Gold, March 8th. Blue, August 3rd, or green, October 5th. Blue, August 3rd. Almost everyone got it. Okay. Next, oh, let's see. Amanda's holding the lead this time. Tina has a streak with 6 correct answers in a row. Good job, Tina. What number should all BMITE courses start with? Red, 8, gold, 5, blue, 4, green, 9. Red, 8. All of your courses should be 8,000 level courses, and that's the thing that you want to go talk to that counselor about and make sure they have them in the system correctly. Amanda's holding there steady. Number of career tech standards used in that 5-year evaluation. Red, 5, gold, 7, blue, 6, green, 8. There are 7 standards. Okay. Amanda, she placed 3rd. Clay G, Clay Graham placed 2nd. And 1st place is Erin. Erin is the winner of one of these gift cards. Good job, Erin. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So Erin, tell me which one of these cards you want. Do you want the Starbucks or the Apple card? Erin, where are you? Oh, Starbucks, please. We can do that. Let me write that down so that I don't forget, and I'll put your name on it. Good job. Okay. Does anyone have any questions from today that you would like answered? Just anything that we've talked about for the last couple of days? Chris Ryan put in the chat 7 of those standards, 7 aren't used. Chris paid attention.
Yeah, that was kind of a tricky question.
It really was. So yes, Chris, you are right. Okay, so here's the plan. Are we all good, Carrie? Do you think we're good to send them off to work on their projects and if they need time?
I think so. If there's no questions that they have for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Paxton put the link in for today for SurveyMonkey. Go ahead and click on that link and complete it so that we can give you credit for being here today. I did take roll this morning and then again after lunch, but that just helps me double check my numbers and keep up with it. So if you would like for us to place you in a group so you can work on your group project, we can do that here, or you are free to go work on those on your own. Mandy says team 6, she's getting ready to email you the video already. Look at you guys. That's wonderful. And does anybody, team 1, Bo, do you guys want us to put you in a group? Paxton, what should we do? What are we doing for our Oklahoma City teachers? They said they're not able to do the SurveyMonkey. Can you take that link and send
forward it to your phone or something like that, maybe?
Put it in your phone and that way you can answer it. Okay. Paxton, do you have your list of the groups?
Yes, I'm responding to some messages from groups in chat real quick. So okay. If any groups that want to be moved can hold tight and let people leave, that'll be a little bit easier in moving people into the breakout rooms.
Okay, so we have group 1 and group 8 that want to work together today.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll start moving people in just a second once I get these questions.
Okay. And team 7, I've got you.
We also want to remind them that tomorrow we start at the same time and we have some amazing presenters that will be talking. They won't be hearing from us tomorrow. It will be teachers, some veteran teachers who are doing some amazing things in the classroom. You prepare to be wowed because they have some great ideas.
Yes, tomorrow's a fun day. And we will also give away the last gift card. We'll give away the vouchers for the tests, and we'll probably do another drawing for the CTSO swag. I really wanted to play rock, paper, scissors on Zoom just to see how it worked, but I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna try this so they can move quickly. I've opened all the breakout rooms. There's one for team 1 and one for team 8, and I've let you all choose them. So if you scroll them to the bottom, you should be able to choose which room you want. If you are staying to get into a room and need to get into it, and it won't let you choose, let me know, and I will move you into it manually. Jacqueline, let me look and see which group you were in, and we'll get you all squared away.
Jacqueline was in 6.
Okay. Mark, are you still on the call?
Yes.
Do you want to message Jacqueline some of the members of 6?
Sure.
Okay, so she can connect with them.
It looks like team 6 has already completed their video, so.
Okay, we can put her in with another group if you want to.
Okay, that's fine. That would work.
I know group 7 lost a member because they weren't actually here this week, if that's an option.
That sounds good. Latanya said they want to be in a group.
Oh, and 7. Okay, so
Yeah.
team 7, I can't rename the groups after we've opened the room. So if you guys want to just go to room 3, that can be team 7's room.
Okay.
Team 7, go to room 3. So if you go down to breakout rooms, then you can just select room 3 and get in there.
And we are going to add Jacqueline to group team 7.
Okay, so team 7, go to room 3. If you hover over the bottom bar of the Zoom menu, you should find breakout rooms and then select which breakout room you want to go to. You may also have the options up at the top if you're within the browser. Again, just select breakout rooms and you can pick which room you go to. Any other teams wanting to get into a room? Let me know in chat or speak up.
Did you take care of Caleb?
I'm not sure. Okay, Caleb, let me look real quick. Caleb, it looks like you're in group 2. Or we're assigned to group 2.
Did group 2 want to meet? Am I crazy? I don't see that group.
I don't see anything. But we have room 4 and room 5 open. So if there are I opened some extra rooms. I just can't rename them. So if anybody else wants to get into the rooms, they can. Room 4 and room 5 are open.
We could
access them.
Room 4 could be group 2 if that's, oh, Bollinger says we're good for team 2, it looks like. So if you are here and you don't need to work on your video, then you're free to go. So just have a wonderful evening and we will see you back here at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Or if you have questions, we'll be here too. So
absolutely, yes. Are you able to place people in groups, Paxton?
I can if they want to go to places. I just need to know where they want to go.
You put Jacqueline Moore in the group we told her to go to in 7, team 7.
And they're in 3, yeah. Jacqueline, you should get an invitation to what's called room 3, and that'll be group 7. Okay, anybody else?
Thank you.
Irving, can you email me that link, please, instead of putting it in chat? Let me send you my email.
Sure, just a minute.
Oh, it just has no chance of getting lost. Okay, I sent you my email in chat. Okay. Did anyone that was still here need to be moved to a room or have questions or anything like that?
Paxton, I sent you a message, a direct message.
Oh, okay, let me look. I may have just lost it when everyone was.
Okay, thank you.
Let me look for it.
Sorry, my house guest was leaving. Did my group go somewhere? I don't even remember what group it was, like 3 or something, I think it was.
Yeah, we didn't, we're not in a group, John.
Oh, there you are.
I don't know where the other people went though, and I don't know. Do you have the email for the lady we're supposed to email our stuff to?
Yeah. Yeah, it's James T at priorschools.org.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. The
I'll tell you about this later.
pump.
Yeah, and your soap is gonna go in it, is we're gonna put shampoo in this. Or, not shampoo, but I'm gonna put my body wash in it.
Did group 7 move?
Okay, Casey, I sent you your message. Sally, group 7 is in room 3. Do you need to be put in there with them?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone else need to be moved or have questions? Send me a message that I missed, anything like that.
Okay, I think I've sent mine over, Paxton. Hopefully you're able to pull it up.
Yes, I turned my email off while I was presenting, so I'm loading it now, so it should come in pretty soon.
Awesome.
Yes, I did get it.
Okay, cool. Thank y'all. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Paxton. It looks like Nikki Casey, she said missed yesterday, so she may need some support. Where to go?
I think we already moved her.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, she's not in here anymore. Mandy or Jared, did you need any assistance or need to be moved anywhere?
I'm good.
Okay, just wanted to check and make sure you weren't waiting on us.
No, thank you though.
Of course. Hey, Mark, can you remind me who got your vouchers and the BPA DECA gift card? Oh, not the vouchers, just the gift card that you gave away.
I want to say, was that, Christy, was that Todd this morning?
Or was it Kayla Petit?
Oh, maybe that, you know what, let me see if I still have it up.
What are you asking me about? What? Sorry.
It was
Like,
Kayla Pettit, because I still have the will up with luckily that
perfect.
arrow on her. So Kayla
Okay.
Pettit.
And BPA or DECA?
That one.
She's going to be a marketing teacher, so I'm assuming DECA.
Okay. I was doing breakout rooms, so I didn't write down the who won that one.
Hey, did I miss my cue on saying the phrase, or did my webcam cut out? Did I miss all that, or we just didn't do it?
Christy ran through it.
Saying the phrase. Oh, sorry.
Okay, well, hey, no, I'm fine. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't on me. I'd like.
What did you? Oh, we'll save it. We might get to do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Was it good?
Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful.
Christy, prizes that need to be mailed so far.
Okay.
Cheryl Edwards.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And Kayla Pettit, which that one can be emailed.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to exit out of here. You don't need me anymore, right?
Nobody's going to answer her.
Hey, So all they're doing
No,
is
because
working
she
on
said ladies. I'm not
They're
answering to
working-
ladies.
they're just working on their team assignment. Like, I mean, you've already dismissed everybody, right?
Correct. Yes.
All right.
Mandy, you're welcome to log out and go. It looks like your team was already completed.
Yeah, I'm fixing to send the video. I just didn't know if I had another survey to do at the end of the day.
Oh, we already put it in chat. Let me put it back. It probably got buried. Yeah, let me get it for you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. The chat's been very active today. Okay, I'm putting that in chat now, Mandy.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that.
Okay, it's okay.
Tell your buddy to behave, and I can't wait to meet you in person, lady.
All right, we'll see y'all in August, I'm assuming.
Right. Well,
Yes.
I'll see you tomorrow, but
Tomorrow, but in person in August.
yeah,
I'll be there. All right, see you guys.
bye. I will be right back. I feel like I need to sing that song. After these messages, I'll be right back.
Hey, does anyone watch America's Got Talent? I think that's what it's called.
I feel like I've watched it before, but not regularly.
I don't watch it regularly either, but I walked in the house last night and there was this 14-year-old boy singing Somebody to Love. And it was like one of those experiences, like makes your hair stand up.
Oh, really?
Well, at least the hair on my arms, like not on my head, but I was like, it doesn't happen very often where someone can be that good, especially on TV where it does that. But I was so amazed that someone 14 had those type of vocals.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the kind of like entertainment they need to get for BPA and stuff.
Yes.
DECA had a violinist. I don't know. Well, and I've never been to an ICDC in person yet. So this past year they had a violinist talk after their keynote. Or not talk, he played. It was really cool.
Well, when I went to Atlanta for ICDC, they had the Transformer.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember which name, but like he came out there doing a dance and shooting fire. Like it was a big production. Like the students really loved it because it was so engaging. And
yeah,
like he was basically telling a story, right? A leadership story through an oversound, but with his actions, you know. And so it was really neat.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm looking forward to CAM. They have a lot of stuff for us. So
CAM is always a much different experience than the other.
Summer conference.
Yes.
Or summer meeting.
Whether it's virtual or in person. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, like, yeah. Last
but
year.
in person, it's not even close. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're like completely different meetings. You wouldn't even think we were doing the same things at them.
Yeah. Well, that's like one year in Orlando, we were going to, is there anyone else on this call? No. We were going to Universal after the CAM meetings, you know? And I'm like, man, I've been sitting here all day. I don't want to stand in line for all this stuff. To be continued.
Hey, Gina.
Hey, that's Team 7. I think they're done.
Oh, awesome.
I think I'm signing off. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Bye, Gina.
Okay, since I missed yesterday, I can go to the CTU and view all of yesterday's presentations.
Yeah, so Jacqueline, all the presentations are in CTU, but you're not going to have like the commentary with them. All of the recorded sessions will be uploaded by Friday to our BMITE YouTube channel.
Okay.
Where you can watch them on that. But all of the, PowerPoints and things like that, handouts, they'll all be on CTU.
Okay, and that'll be by 5.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jacqueline.
Bye-bye.
So anyhow, I'm like, I don't want to go stand in line. I've been sitting in this room all day, right? Well, they had partnered with Universal, and since they're going to be bringing all these people to town, they had fast passes for us. And so we got to be on the front of the ride every time. So we rode like 20 things in 2 hours. It was nuts. So
That's awesome.
we put Jacqueline in Team 7, and they were already done with their project too. So
Yeah, I mean, if they divvied it all out yesterday, I mean, it would be hard to get into a team today and be part of it. Oh, so Christine Phipps is asking if she can log in to tomorrow's new teacher sessions. Do you think Carrie would have a problem with that? I'll ask her.
I wouldn't think so.
She says, is it possible, or can I listen to the recording later? Which they'll be on. Oh, she says they have a couple of Oklahoma people traveling to New Mexico for ACTE stuff in September for a presentation. I wonder who that is. Okay, I'll ask her. I'll ask Carrie if she cares, if she attends, or if she watches. Though, I mean, the videos are on YouTube for anyone, so.
Yeah, I don't think she'll care if she attends. They can watch it anyway, but if they want to attend,
Yeah, I'll find out. So she's interested in maybe her daughter helping us out if we have, and I don't know what Kyla's schedule looks like, but it could be something where they split even. Because I know Kyla didn't work all of her hours last year. Have you ever met her daughter?
I've not. Matter of fact, I didn't even know she had a daughter until she texted me that day, wanting to know if she could stop by. And I'm like, what? This is strange and out of the blue.
Yeah, they must have just got busy. She messaged me during SAC and asked for my number and asked if I was going to be here when she's moving her daughter in, but that's when I'm going to CAM, and she's missing CAM this year.
Gotcha.
So, and that's when I told her we were busy with this week, and she asked if she could get an agenda. Okay, I'll go ask Carrie. Do you have this room handled?
Yep.
What are you going to ask Carrie?
Nothing. Also, you said Snickers and popcorn, and I didn't think it was Snickers popcorn.
Sorry.
This is so random.
I have been wanting to try one of those forever, but I refuse to buy it myself because, like,
I didn't even know it existed. What else did they have?
Oh, sorry. They had all kind. They had like there's several different popcorn flavors, and they had Little Debbie's and Kraft macaroni and cheese, and I don't know, some crazy things. So the only days left for my kid to do driver's ed, all during school. Like, how do I do that? Do teachers care? I mean,
To pull your kid out of school so you can take their driver's test?
Say that again.
To take him out of school to take his driver's test? Is that what you're talking about?
Driver's ed through Cowboy Driving Academy. He has 6 or 10 hours, I think.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Luckily, we did Bose all through Perkins High School. They have a driver's ed program, and so 2 days. They went to Oklahoma City and Tonka City and all over the place. So my wife's like, I sure wish I would have knew where they were driving before he took off.
Right? Sure, I don't care. Anything. That's so funny. We did Caleb through being high school. Hi, Shara. Did you need something?
Hello.
Hi.
I was just checking back in. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, I was just checking back in. I'm having a hard time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We've been on vacation, so it's just been hectic trying to juggle everything.
Yeah, I understand. Well, we appreciate you keeping, coming back. But it looks like group 1. Did you guys meet? I can't even remember. Your team is still there. Would you like for me to put you in your team?
Yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
Well, I don't know that I can do that. Let me check. Do you see the breakout rooms? If you see the breakout room, you can click on
yes.
team 1. There you go.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Ben, what's up? You're muted.
Just broke out of our meeting, so I think we've got everything squared away. So I
Okay.
just jumped back in here to make sure that we didn't have anything else.
Nope, you're good. You're good to
I'll
go.
get that, like I say, I mean, I'll get that email put together. I know that you're super busy, but
It's okay.
getting that put together, and I was just got to put the computer lab together, got to figure out what curriculum we're going to use. I think we were just going to use the ICEV online curriculum exclusively this year.
Okay.
And kind of work all the way through it, just to kind of get a feel of what we need to teach, what we're going after. But I did have a few questions as far as, so every class that I teach will have a test at the end of the year, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So we offer whatever classes out of this curriculum syllabus guide that has the OLAP next to it, I think is what, because it has to have the OLAP or the Oklahoma's Promise next to it to count for the foreign language, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And then I need to I'll email Paxton too, as far as I'm filling out that form, but we're an entire new career tech chapter, are we not?
From my understanding, yes.
And that's what I'm filling out there. So that was some of the information that I want to get from her and make, because I'm looking at it going, okay, we've got to fill 20 people in a school with 80 kids in the high school. And I'm going with football and basketball and all that other stuff. We're going.
Okay, it looks great on a resume for them. Let them be involved in all the stuff.
But that was some of my stuff that I was going to try to get nailed out with her, but I've got that email pretty well put together, and I'll shoot it over to you. And then just whenever you have time, don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, right now is good, and it's just, they're doing other things. We can talk about some of it now if you need to. That's
Okay. So for my certification, so I'm doing the emergency certification alternate placement program right now for my computer science. I'm going to talk to him because I don't think I need that certification on the engineering tech, especially not right now. And that's just another test cost and another test I'd have to study for my certification. So I'm going to see if we can just back that up to computer science and leave it at that.
I'm sorry. Have you talked to Lori Richardson? Do you know if you've communicated with her at all?
I haven't lately. I think I talked to her originally, but I can shoot her an email, and because I just don't know as far as the career tech, teaching the career tech classes, what else would I need on top of that?
She would definitely be the person to talk to, and she can narrow it down for exactly what you have as to what you're going to be teaching and then what you'll need. So she will definitely be your girl.
And then I did email Pamela, due to classes starting the week after Summit. I'm going to be setting up the computer lab. I'm going to be setting up our system, whatever we're using, try to figure that out and get it lined out for that. So I'm not going to be able to make Summit.
Okay, but Oklahoma Summit is a requirement for our programs. Is there a way that you can set up the class the week before?
I have meetings about all of our career tech programs, and I'm probably going to be up there anyway setting up. That was kind of what I was running into, because this week and next week, of course, this week got filled up real quick with what happened Monday. And then with the meetings this week, I was going to start setting up next week and get everything. We've got to update everything to Windows 10 and get our lab set up. That was what I was concerned about.
What classes are you teaching?
That's another thing I've got to talk and see, finalize what Brashears wants to go with. I know we're teaching fundamentals of tech. I think we're gonna try to teach desktop publishing and graphic design. Google Tools was one that we talked about. I saw the Internet of Things. That's one that I was going to ask him about, but I think he's got me down for like 6 classes.
Welcome to a small school, right?
Yeah. So if I've got 6 classes, that's where I've got to talk to him and okay which classes that I need to teach, and then get that. Make sure that they're on ICEV, because I don't think that there was a Google Tools class on ICEV. So I might have to find something for that.
That's probably true. Hold on just a second. Steve, is there something we can do for you? Did you have any questions for us? Steve, there he is.
No, I got done clearing out my emails and I just popped up. I just saw myself there. I didn't know I was still alive. So glad I wasn't picking my nose.
Well, you know, mom of boys here, so I'm used to all of you crazy people.
Yep. I got all boys myself.
Hey, they're fun.
They're the best. They're grown now. So
are they?
Yeah, I'm old. Working on it. My kids are working on adopting some foster children. So I'm real excited.
Oh, that is exciting. Very cool.
Yeah. Excited and proud. So I will see you all tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. See you at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Thanks for everything, Ben. See ya.
No problem. See you later, Steve.
So yes, the Google Tools class, probably not ICEV, but you could do some fun things with that. Now, is that a 1 semester course? I can't remember. It's been a while.
I knew the fundamentals of tech was going to be pretty in-depth. It looked like it had a lot of stuff to cover. Fundamentals of web design, I think, was another one he wanted to look at so that we could kind of get the kids involved in the school website.
Is there anything we can do for you, sir?
At this point, I've just got to catch him up there, and I was going to do that next week after we got done with this.
Oh, okay. So you and Bo working together? Is that what you said?
Oh, no, I didn't even realize he was up there.
I thought, wow. Bo has already been in the classroom this year. He got to deal with, what is that? Trial by fire? Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
I understand. It's kind of stressful sometimes.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we can do for you? Did you have any questions, or did you just come out of your group?
I came out of a group, and then I had a question in regards to the video that we're doing.
Okay.
Ours is gonna be a little longer. Is that okay? I know we're trying to keep it under 1:30, but every person is trying.
You're fired. No, just kidding.
Well, hey, there goes my career.
I am sure a video over 1:30 will be fine.
Okay, because right now we're at like almost 2 minutes, and I've boiled it down as quickly as low as I can almost.
Okay, well, do what you can.
All right, thank you. All right, I will let you go, and we need to have this submitted by tomorrow afternoon, correct?
Well, we would like for it to be in the morning, at least in the morning sometime.
Because we had one other person who's trying to get her part recorded because she's out on Gulf Shores and doing it from her cell phone and that type of situation.
Yeah. I'm jealous of her, actually.
Yeah.
If you can get it to us in the Dropbox before noon tomorrow, that way we can get it loaded, and otherwise.
Yeah, I can make that happen. I can make that happen.
Okay, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you both. See you in the morning.
See you.
Sorry, Ben.
Oh, you're fine. I didn't even realize he was in the room. I thought I was still talking to you, but yeah, I've just got to talk to him and finalize everything. And I guess he's been working on some budgeting issues that we've been having. So he's not going to be available until next week, probably, for me to talk to him about that.
Okay.
But I did have another question, if I can find my note card here. There it is. The CTU website. I tried to reset my password, thinking that would fix my problem, and I never did. I never could get it to send me an email
That's so
for
weird.
that. So I couldn't get in there. Let me double check to make sure it didn't come in, but oh, there it is. Help desk,
Good.
ctu.org. This took a little bit. Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Well, good. Okay. Well, if for some reason you're still not able to get in, let me know that.
Okay. And then other than that, I think are just BPA questions. Because that's something I don't think that maybe Mr. Preshears did know the ins and outs of that and just didn't tell me, but that's where I was with his budgeting issues and knowing that there's a $400 minimum, figuring out if we're going to have the students to meet that.
Yeah.
Because I think he just told us the other day that to cut back on copying because we weren't going to be buying copy paper.
Oh wow.
But no, so that's something I got to talk to with him and see what we got going there. But that was just everything's falling together at once, and that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Something to think about for BPA. And I don't know all the ins and outs of the affiliation fee. This is where, and if you have any partnerships to industry, where did you move here from? What were you doing?
I'm from Beaver, but my last job was payroll and HR at Manhattan, Kansas.
Oh wow, okay.
So it's a little removed from our area. I mean, it's 6 hours away.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I was just thinking if you had a connection already, or if you had already started working on an advisory committee, that's definitely not the first thing you want to ask is, hey, can I have some money?
right. Well, and that's the other thing that I really wanted to talk to Paxton about eventually, because all that stuff was just kind of new to me. I wasn't aware of what we need to do there. So I was going to talk to her about setting up this new chapter and see what I had to do with that.
Okay. Well, Paxton will, I know she'll be happy to talk to you and work through some of those details with you.
But yeah, when I start lining out questions, that's why I said I've got a lot of them. So I might email you, but I know that the certification, I'll talk to your colleague there. I think we've got our pathway kind of figured out, because you said the pathways, we're not going to probably be able to complete one at a small school at a high school level.
Right.
So right now we're just trying to build into the same pathways so that they can maybe go finish up at High Plains at Woodward.
Yes. And
is that our local, as far as where we're located, would that be our local tech school?
Well, that's a good question. I'll find that out. I should know that probably, but I don't. I will, that would be one of the places I would start, is to talk to your tech center person and see what programs they offer and find out the courses that you can offer to feed into them. Fund of Tech is a perfect one to start. That's a great way, of course.
And I know that, so our main, and of course, my main directive was we've got to teach 2 basic courses for them to get their foreign language. And then he gave me, out of the 2, I think my wife said on the schedule, I'm at least 5 more classes. Maybe, no, it's got to be 5, because they wouldn't have me for more than 7 out of 7 hours. I think they give me a plan period somewhere in there. But,
yeah, so if it's a 7-hour day at your school, then you would be teaching 6 courses if you're supposed to be a full-time program. Hold on just a second. Pam, did you need something? I'm so sorry.
I think she needed added back to group 1.
Yes, I had to leave group 1, and could I be added back to group 1?
Do you see the breakout room at the bottom of your screen?
I don't see it on mine.
No.
Where it was earlier, it just says record.
Yeah, there's no one else in there. So
oh. Okay. All right then. Thank you. I thought they thought I was coming back on, but okay. Thank you.
Cheers. See you in the morning.
All right.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me ask this question real fast. Okay, I got my question answered. They said that your program will align with High Plains. Now, it doesn't feed into that. That's something that I guess voted on by the county, by the city. I don't know how that works.
Well, and that would be we're not even in the same county.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 2 counties over, I think, but yeah, I was just gonna get in touch with somebody there that I could get and figure out what their BMITE or what they're going for in their IT department, so I could kind of use that to help structure. But crunch time is kind of here, so we're gonna have to kind of make a plan for this year and run with it. But I just was curious just when I did contact them. Other than that, yeah, I think those were all my other ones were related to BPA and certification.
Okay.
I guess on the project, so it's a live introduction. So we would just do that over the video, right?
Yes. So when we're in the big group, one of you will introduce and say, this is my team.
Which I think the idea was we were gonna cycle through one, then one, then one, kind of like a script.
Yeah.
Because each person has a different definition of success. So that was kind of our idea there. I just wanted to make sure that we were doing that the correct way.
Yes, that's perfect.
All righty.
Okay, well, anything else?
Not that I can think of. Let me pull up that email. As far as the ICEV, that's something that would be good as long as we can find the classes to match it, right?
Yes, yes.
I talked to our ag teacher here, and he said he really liked it, but
well, good. Some teachers do. Some teachers, the kids complain because it's boring, they say. But I mean,
right.
Through COVID, it was kind of
yeah, it would help with the COVID, maybe distance learning application, and with us getting a fresh start, that gives us kind of a set of training wheels to make sure that we're hitting everything that we need to hit.
For sure.
And that was just one of my concerns, and maybe you have some suggestions. So the program as I knew it when I was in high school, this program for tech here has just been, you have your Microsoft Office instructions, you complete the instructions and then play games. And we all took computer classes because they were easy, right?
Yeah.
So that was the driving goal behind that. So that's going to be my biggest hurdle. Is last year I had a lot of pushback from the kids because we're actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And I liked the other class better. And I was going, well, tough, because in my class, you're going to leave here and be able to have the knowledge to get a job. But that's where I'm trying to figure out how much participation we're going to have. That being the case, that it's not, we don't get to play games anymore. Now we actually have to do stuff and actually apply ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's always those students that work really quickly, if it's set at your own pace kind of work. And so I ended up still having those that would pull out the games, and
right,
because they would finish so quickly. So I could place them on other projects or do some BPA things with those students.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was thinking with this. It gives me a little bit more leeway to, okay, we're going to jump in here to the poster printer and start messing around with it and figuring out how it works. And that it'll help having that kind of ability to do that. But last year I had freshmen through seniors too, all in one class. So the
All in
seniors
one.
were done in 10 minutes, and then all my freshmen were sitting over there picking their nose, didn't even listen to any of the instructions.
Yeah.
So
Now, with desktop publishing, are you being given yearbook?
I think what he was planning was, so my wife teaches up at the school too. I think he was planning on her being yearbook editor and me preparing them for yearbook in my class.
Oh, how fun is
Because
that?
he was looking at it going,
So y'all can
well,
hate each other after it's all over.
well, he was kind of shoveling that career tech going, well, figure out the career tech program, starting your new chapter, and also you'll be doing yearbook.
Oh, wow.
He just said, I don't care who does it, but the check will go to your house. So it's basically like one of you two has to do it. So I'll probably end up doing it too, because I think my wife is teaching 4th through 8th.
Oh, wow.
English and reading.
Yeah.
So it might be kind of packed for her. I might just end up taking that one too. But I think as far as the classes go, I know that we're going to teach fundamentals of tech, and I know that we're going to teach desktop publishing. And
multimedia image management is another good one to add if you're going to do yearbook. It would be a good third. So if you are taking 4 years of students through your classes and you have some freshmen that want to do yearbook, you could have them do fund of tech. The next year they could take desktop publishing and do yearbook. And then the next year they
you
could
said
take
it's called image management.
multimedia and image management.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I have that one checked on here too.
And that way you would have all the different Adobe classes and can use that for yearbook. Do you know what company you're going to use for yearbook?
We've been using Walsworth.
Okay.
I have the logins for that, so I'm guessing that's probably what we will continue using.
Do they offer a curriculum or anything? Do you know?
I couldn't say. I didn't do yearbook last year. My predecessor was still doing yearbook. I was just in there walking around to computers and helping them figure out how to use certain applications on it. But as far as curriculum, the yearbook class, their grades were almost just based on making deadlines. Like they didn't have grades based on it, like what they were doing exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the multimedia image management was one that I had, and I think there was a class for that on the ICEV.
Good.
I know there was a class for fundamentals of technology on that. So I had those kind of dialed down, but
so like the desktop publishing and graphic design would be Adobe InDesign, and then multimedia would be Photoshop or Illustrator.
Okay.
And that way they're learning all the Adobe stuff.
Right.
And I think I haven't looked, I don't remember what the fund of tech syllabus looks like, but is there an ICEV course or test at the end of that? Do you know? I was going to look at curriculum here.
Yeah, like I said, I've dove in, looked through the fundamentals of technology, but I haven't really seen the other ones.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I'd have to get them cleared in the first place.
Okay, so it does not offer an ICEV option for an end of course test, but of course you can still use the ICEV tests. It's just that near the end of the year, say April or May.
We're going to have to do
and since you don't have a budget, use the ODCTE test.
That's the other thing I was going to ask you. I have it written down somewhere, but certification testing, the one that you have to have a proctor for.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, have your ag teacher be your proctor and you be the ag teacher's proctor, whatever, or your wife. God bless
and
her.
we've got the home ec department coming up with a brand new career tech program too.
Good. Well, let me look at this desktop publishing real fast. Desktop publishing and graphic design. ODCT offers the graphic design test, so that's good. Let me look at multimedia. Multimedia. And ODCTE offers 3 courses or 3 tests for that as well. You just choose one. So at least all of those are Oklahoma's Promise courses, and they offer the free test option with the proctor. So those would be good. What was the
One
other?
class that I thought would be helpful for the direction that we're going would be that advanced spreadsheet applications class.
Okay, and just a side note, that Fundamentals of Web Design, there is not a free test option with them, with that course.
Okay.
So you would need to choose a testing company for that one.
Right.
Okay, what was that one you just said?
Advanced spreadsheet applications.
Well, I don't have, is that an ICEV title?
That's one that I haven't looked for anything on there. That just kind of fell under our, I'm just looking at the class list off of.
Okay, I just found it. It's in that other cluster. Hold on. It's my computer's slow.
So it is on the ICV too?
I do not know if I don't know why I struggle with saying that. I don't know that ICEV has that course. I would imagine they would have something similar, but there is no ODCTE test for that one. So that one might be
another one that we would have to pay for a test.
But there's Admin Tech 2. That's one that's kind of the next step from Fund of Tech. It deals with Microsoft and all the Office products. And it is an Oklahoma Promise approved course.
Okay, Admin Tech 2.
Yes, and there's no ODCTE option for that one either. Okay, so if you did have, if they wanted you to choose one of these courses that did not have the ODCTE option, I hear people talking, sorry. They're like, I can't get to my door to close it. SHL Talent Central is probably, well, I don't know. I hate to recommend a test option just because it may be that your classroom, your size is small. So then you would only need to buy 20 tests, and then it wouldn't be as much as spending $500 on SHL. The difference with SHL is you can have them test as many times as you want to. I know when I would have free time in December, when some kids didn't have to be there and some did, I'd be like, go find a test that you want to get certified in, and they would pick underwater basket weaving, and I'd let them go take that test. So I don't think that one's an option, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would definitely look at the different options and see which would be cheaper for you if you have to choose one of the courses without the ODCTE option.
All right. Yeah, and like I said on these, I was trying to get through the New Teacher Academy. So I'd have all the information that I'd need to go in here and see what classes he wanted to teach and maybe recommend some things if I figure out stuff in the academy, which I have, that could affect that, I guess.
Yeah.
But
well, if you need help, later next week, trying to get this all worked out, and I can set up a Zoom meeting and meet with you and your administrator, that would be fine too. I'll do whatever you need to help, to answer questions while y'all are bouncing ideas off of each other. So.
Right. Can do. Yeah, I think that's all I've got. And like I say, I was under the understanding that the 5 days of the Teacher Academy was the requirement.
Yes. Well, yes. For a new teacher, you have 5 days required. And once you're done with those, you don't have to attend any more of those sessions. But every year, Oklahoma Summit is a requirement for every teacher in the career tech system. So that one is going to be a requirement every year. But the 5 days of new teacher and then, September and January, that's just a one-time thing. Now, September and January are offered to you every year if you want to utilize it, but you don't have to after
Okay,
you've completed it the one time.
which, yeah, I mean, these sessions have been really helpful. So
Oh, good.
that would be something I would definitely look at. But I guess my question would be, what do I need to do? Because that is something I've got to get everything updated to Windows 10 and get the computer lab set up and then get lined out on curriculum because we start that next week.
I have no mercy. I feel like that, what I'm telling you. It's required. I
Okay.
totally understand, and I'm so sorry. I know you've got 1,000 things going on. If you can make it happen, fantastic. This being your first year and not being a funded program, is that right? You're not funded yet, or did you get funded?
I think it counts for next year, the lottery grant.
Okay.
I think we received that. We've got all that stuff filled out, but it applies to next year. It's February was when we were at that point going to be reimbursed, and August, I think it had to be installed. Which that's probably something that I've got to figure out with him when he wants to purchase that stuff, so I can get him set up and get him ASAP. But I bet he wants to wait until we're going to get reimbursed the way he's been talking. That's something I can't answer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was going to look and see when.
But I've got that paperwork in my email, I know.
Okay.
If I pull it up, I can look at the lottery grant.
Okay. Can you hold on just 1 second? Let me go ask
Yes,
about
ma'am.
Oklahoma Summit. I'll be right back. Okay. So Oklahoma Summit, definitely required. And since your program isn't funded, that's one of those things that you want to make sure that you're following all the rules of, you know, getting the crosswalks done and making sure you have your syllabus, make sure you're testing, and make sure you attend all the professional development that's required. So I understand that there's a cost with it. I don't know how far Beaver is from.
4.5 hours probably from the city.
So you're looking at overnight stay too, then.
Yeah.
Probably. If you absolutely cannot, this would be the year that we totally get it, that it just cannot happen and there's no money to pay for it. The other thing is, though, one thing that Carrie recommended, you could have your students help you make it part of your classroom. Have them help you set up the computers, have them help you load Windows 10, network everything. That's something that you could consider really for all of these classes, especially Fund of Tech and desktop publishing. You could have them load.
The only issue I have with that would mean that they would have to have access to the administrative password.
Okay, yeah.
So that would be something that I would not want to give the kids.
You don't want to just give them free access to everything? Okay, well, that's a good point, but you could have them help you unbox. I'm trying to think of ideas.
Right. And
I'm so
yeah, the only thing that I'm running into is to get them up there during their summer. Two-a-days is about to start for football, and I don't know what else is going on. So I don't know if I could get my students up there.
Yeah, well, we were kind of just thinking once school started.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, have it as a daily activity.
Well, and that was one thing that I know that he wanted done before we started so that we could have everything up to Windows 10. So if something did go haywire on one of the computers and it wouldn't update or wouldn't come across, we'd get that fixed before the year started.
Yeah.
Instead of backpedaling.
Well, I'm kind of a type A personality anyway, so I would have wanted all that done before school started too. So I totally get it.
Like I say, this perfect storm, I guess, with the funeral this week, kind of put everything in a bind. But
well, do what you can.
Okay.
I really hate for you to miss summer conference. I mean, if nothing else, go just to day 2. I mean, day 1 is great, and you see a lot of things that are introduced to all the teachers, and there's a meeting there for us, but maybe just plan on attending day 2, and then you don't have the overnight stay, but you do get access to all of our meetings, and you get to meet the people that are in your region. That's a bonus.
Well, I'll get in touch with him.
Okay.
And see what he's got, what the plan is, because I know that it's probably going to come down to he's going to recognize what classes he wants me to teach, but I'm going to have to go hunt down some curriculum for that and figure out what I'm going to teach.
Okay. Well, and if you need help narrowing that down, I'm here to help with
that. Once I know 100%, that was my main thing, was just suggestions for a new program starting curriculum. I mean, something that can get us started where we're covering all the information that we need, make sure that we're dotting our T's and crossing our I's, you know.
Right.
But
you can do it.
Yeah, no, we'll get it done. With everything coming down to the wire, that's where I just wanted to get ahead of it. Because I don't know if I can get all that stuff done in a week.
Yeah, I understand.
We're going to be gone this weekend at my wife's parents' house.
Okay.
So it's going to start back. I'm going to be gone Friday, and it's going to start back Monday.
Is this her first year at Beaver Schools too?
No, she started at 3rd grade. She was student teaching here from K-State. She found a way to get down here.
Good.
To student teach, and then started that following January. So she would have been teaching for, this would be 2 years now, 3 years now. This will be her 3rd year.
So this is old hat for her. Like, she's a pro.
Well, she was teaching 3rd grade, and now she's teaching 4th through 6th reading and 7th, 8th English. So,
oh my word. I was going to say 3rd grade is stressful because of that test, but man, to add 4th through.
Yeah, so she's not teaching 3rd grade anymore, but she is teaching 4th through 6th reading, and she's been scrambling to get that stuff because none of the stuff was released on their reading program, and it only has a certain number of logins. So she hadn't even been able to log in.
Wow.
And now she's trying to figure out what she's going to teach in 7th and 8th because the textbooks might not be the best.
Oh gosh. Well, good luck to you.
Yeah, it could be a hectic year. But like I said, I'll talk to him and I'll get a better idea of what I've got going on.
Okay.
And then I guess I just log back on there. If I get all that stuff updated, I just log back in there to for the fees for Summit.
Say that one more time.
So I would just need to log in to get a ticket for Summit.
Yes, yeah. There, if you go to the website, to the okcareertech.org website.
Yeah.
Click on educators, because you're a teacher, and then go down and click on BMITE because that's the division you're teaching in. And then over on the left, there's a link for Oklahoma Summit, I think, or Summer Conference. I think they do call it Oklahoma Summit. And that way you can get registered.
I think I saw them in there, saw that in there.
Okay, well, if you get to that point where you need it and you can't find it, just holler and we'll send it to you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Alrighty.
Have a wonderful evening.
Oh yeah, lovely.
See you bright and early in the morning.
Yep.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir. Have a
much.
great one.
You too.
Bye.